It's time to build the perfect UFC fighter using one attribute from every champion. We'll be talking about the fighters on screen now. And if you don't understand what we're doing pretty much this. You take one attribute from every champion, you put it all together into one fighter, and you build the greatest fighter of all damn time. Let's get into it. I want to start hot. Like, subscribe, do all that. I want a fighter who is a great striker. Knockouts. Entertaining. Who's better? Alex Pereira. This guy's the best kickboxer we've seen in UFC history. Obviously, I'm going to take his kickboxing. I'm not going to take his grappling or his wrestling. Maybe if we want to do the worst UFC fighter, maybe video idea, possibly. But Alex Pereira is the best kickboxer in UFC history. I think he's the best striker in UFC history. This man's defensive striking especially has leveled up as he's gone throughout his UFC career. You can look at his first few fights with Israel Adesanya. He has a lot of holes on the feet, defensively especially. But as he's leveled up and gone to light heavyweight, I mean, come on. His defensive striking is now elite. I know you can't really compare Izzy and Jamal Hill and Yuri Prochazka. Izzy's a much better striker, but he's leveled up in that regard. The man's 36 years old, and he's in his prime right now. He's still getting better. Fight after fight, he looks better and better. This man's elite. Obviously, I'm going to take his damn kickboxing because he's just that guy. Power, we'll save it for another fighter, but kickboxing, Alex Pereira, I don't need to talk about it. It's that simple. But why can you have a fighter with just striking when they could also have the grappling? Come on, it's Islam Makhachev, people. There we go. There's Islam Makhachev. Probably the second best grappler in the UFC right now. We're going to kind of merge grappling and wrestling into one. The second best grappler we have in the UFC right now, I think Khamzat Chimaev is better than Islam, but come on. This man's control on the ground, his offensive submission game is nasty. I think his grappling is actually a little bit better than his wrestling, his pure wrestling. But this is a simple one. If I'm going to choose grappling, it's going to be Islam Makhachev, Renato Moicano by submission, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira by submission. He's from Dagestan. He's the best fighter in the world, probably. He's going to have good grappling. It's that simple. Let's move on. I don't want to talk about the easy ones. Islam Makhachev grappling, Alex Pereira striking. Easy. Let's move on to another easy one. Merab Dvalishvili's cardio. This man's an absolute cheat code. Who put him in the game? He's overpowered. He's broken. He needs a nerf. This man, I guarantee it, was taken by a different species out in space, moved to Earth, and plopped down to be a UFC fighter. I want to know what type of fighting organization those outside creatures have, because this man's an absolute cheat code. His cardio is the best in UFC history. We haven't seen anything like it. Colby Covington, get out of here. Kamaru Usman, get out of here. You guys got great cardio, but he's broken. He's not fair. He's broken. His cardio is ridiculous. He can miss 50 takedowns in one round and still be fine. He could Joey Chestnut 100 hot dogs before a damn fight and still be fine. It's broken. It's a cheat code. I've said it about a zillion times. Come on. Merab Dvalishvili's cardio with Alex Pereira's kickboxing, with Islam Makhachev's grappling. What do you do? Jon Jones, you're next. Next up, Jon Jones. I didn't even know Jon Jones was next. The greatest of all time, the GOAT. Not after this video, he isn't. Fight IQ. I'm going to go with fight IQ for Jon Jones. He's not necessarily in his prime anymore. His striking isn't amazing. Prime Jon Jones, maybe the best wrestler and grappler, in UFC history, but I'm not going to go there. We already have Islam, insane elite level grappling. I want to go something very selective to Jon Jones, because a lot of fighters don't have the fight IQ that Jon Jones has had. This man has taken out pretty much 3 generations of fighters. He is so incredibly smart in the octagon. He uses his range, his distance so well. He uses his physical tools probably better than anyone in UFC history, by a long shot, to be honest. Jones is just elite. He game plans so well for fights. You could talk about this man. There's so many videos from when he was in his prime talking about how he game planned and how he prepared for fights, watching film. It's so obvious. Jon Jones, the greatest of all time, has the greatest fight IQ we've ever seen. Jon Jones' fight IQ with Merab's cardio, Pereira's kickboxing, Islam's grappling. Oh boy, we got a serious problem on our hands. Next up, Dricus Du Plessis. I mean, come on. We built the greatest human of all time. Plot armor? This man can be hit by A car going 100 miles per hour. He's fine. He's fine. Dude's just going to somehow like throw a crazy overhand and knock out the car, if that even makes sense. But the thing is, he doesn't make sense. So when I talk about him, it's not going to make sense. Dricus Du Plessis' plot armor is ridiculous. We haven't seen something like it. This man can get his ass beat for 5 straight rounds, 24 minutes, 59 seconds. He'll throw the craziest overhand right and knock him out cold to retain his middleweight title. I don't care how wonky and weird this guy's style is. He's incredible. He's incredible. And his plot armor is a big reason because of it. This man, I know plot armor is a little bit like durability, but durability we're going to save for another guy. Plot armor is just different, man. It's got a different type of aura to it. Dricus Du Plessis plot armor, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. Let's move on to Ilia Topuria. Oh my God, this man's the best fighter in the world. He is the best fighter in the world. We've never seen a featherweight like him. He's better than Volkanovski. He's better than Holloway. He's better than Jose Aldo. We've never seen a combination of skill like this in the featherweight division. He's elite on the ground. He has an elite wrestling background. He's got an elite grappling, that's the word. But this man's boxing is insane. This man's boxing is absolutely ridiculous. He's the best boxer in UFC history by a mile, I think. I don't think anybody comes close in terms of technique, ability to go from the body to the head, so tight in his combinations. It's ridiculous. And somehow, it's crazy to me. Somehow, there's people out there that still don't recognize how good he is. People are like, oh, he doesn't deserve to fight Islam Makhachev yet. He doesn't deserve to. What are you watching? What are you watching? This man's an historic level fighter, and you guys got to appreciate it, man. Best boxer in UFC history. Dustin Poirier, Petr Yan, amazing boxers. They're not on Ilia Topuria's level. We're building just something else. We're building something in a laboratory right now. But let's keep going. Tom Aspinall's power. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got a serious problem on our hands. Tom Aspinall, crazy, ridiculous power. I feel like he doesn't get recognized for his power because he's such an anomaly in the heavyweight division. He's fast. He moves like a welterweight. He's got great boxing. 1-2's great. His grappling and wrestling is amazing. But nobody talks about this man's power. He clips Sergey Pavlovich. He's out cold. He clips Curtis Blades. He's out cold. Jon Jones, you're next. This man's power is ridiculous. And you could have gone strength. You could have gone maybe speed pound for pound. But I like Tom Aspinall's power. It's ridiculous. He puts literally every heavyweight on the planet out. He really does. He's the best heavyweight in the world. We're taking his power. I think we have 2 more champions left to discuss. Alexandre Pantoja. We cannot forget the flyweight champion. One of the best fighters we've ever seen. He's building a crazy resume in the flyweight division. And I know it's similar. I talked about it earlier. I know it's similar to plot armor. But this man's durability is nasty. This man's durability is disgusting. He gets beat up on the feet. He's not the best striker in the world. His defensive striking isn't great. He gets outstruck in most of his fights, but he somehow just takes on the chin, keeps walking forward, keeps eating punches, and somehow finds ways to win. He got pieced up on the feet against Brandon Moreno and other fighters. Steve Erceg really pieced him up. I personally thought Steve Erceg won that fight. He was cutting up Alexandre Pantoja. Pantoja was bleeding, but this man kept walking forward. He kept eating these punches. His durability's nasty. He never gets wobbled, which is insane. This man has taken some clean punches on the chin. He doesn't get wobbled. It's ridiculous. So I'm taking Alexandre Pantoja's durability, no doubt in my mind. But the last champion, we can't forget him, Belal Muhammad. Now, I had a little bit of a problem trying to pick Belal's best attribute because he's an interesting fighter. His grappling and wrestling's great, but is it the best of the best? Probably not. His striking isn't elite. His cardio is insane, but I'm going to take Merab's cardio all day. So I went with his pressure. This man is always in your face. He's always pushing forward. Excuse me, that was nasty. He gets takedowns because of his pressure. I know it's similar to cardio. I know, but we can't just believe Belal out of the video. We can't do that, people. So we needed to take his pressure. You saw in the Leon Edwards fight, that was one of the most impressive title fight performances in recent memory. Always in his face. Didn't let Leon set his feet. Always on the back foot. Belal's in your face with the pressure, and everything else in his game benefits because of it. His striking looks better because of his pressure. His striking striking defense especially looks better because of his pressure, because he cuts down the distance so well. It's never in kickboxing range. It's always in boxing range. And when you look at the welterweight division, there's not many great boxers. Maybe like Ian Machado Gary is very solid with his combinations, but you know what I mean. There's no Ilia Topuria in the welterweight division. So when Belal Muhammad cuts the distance, it's going to be very, very hard to beat him. So I had to take Belal Muhammad's pressure. This fighter, guys, holy cow, holy macaroon. No, I'm not even going to say that. That was cringe. But let's recap who we just built, because this is ridiculous. Oh my God. Alexandre Pantoja, durability. Merab Dvalishvili, cardio. Ilia Topuria, boxing. Islam Makhachev, grappling. Belal Muhammad, pressure. Dricus Du Plessis, plot armor. Alex Pereira's kickboxing. Jon Jones' fight IQ. And Tom Aspinall's power. I mean, we haven't seen something like this. This would be far and away, not even the best fighter we've ever seen. This would be the best athlete, the best human we have ever seen. Let me know what you guys think of the video in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that. Peace out.